YouTube? I'm back again today for another special tag team Kickstarter critique with my amazing wife, Melina. And tonight, I'm very excited to be checking out the 11th most popular project on all of games. That is Next Level Miniatures Dragon Hoard Miniatures Volume 1. And I had a request to check this one out from a fan. And that always makes me worry a little bit because I've had numerous fans reach out. And whenever they reach out, I'm checking out things like butt quarters, which I checked out, which was a game where you try to pick up quarters with your butt and then walk across the room. But today, hopefully, this will not be a flaming dumpster fire. It's its first day. It's already been funded for $32,000. High-quality miniatures for use with fantasy RPGs and tabletop games. Butt quarters. So the first thing on the main image, I can't even really tell those are minis, honestly. Can you? They kind of look more like animation.
Artwork.
Oh, God. Yeah, it looks like artwork.
It's just artwork.
Well,
Is it not just artwork? No, they're not. They are the minis.
Well, then, so they need to zoom in a little bit, because once again, this image is going to be gone, because people are going to click on the video. Funded in 8 hours. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. Pledge all in and get the huge dragon figure free. So I do like the fact that they're spotlighting that dragon figure, because I know a lot of people just like to have these collector's items, like these big minis. They're a thing, by the way, on Kickstarter. They're massively popular, huge minis.
Okay.
But let's check this out. As always, when we go to the video, we're thinking three things. Do we want it? Can you do it? And how much is it? Oh, yeah.
What those look like?
Wait, that one looks like artwork. That one kind of
No,
looks...
it's not artwork. Look at it.
Oh, those are minis.
They're
oh,
on
wow.
their platforms.
They really need to zoom in on that more. Maybe show less minis, but zoomed in more.
I'm hoping there's more to it, because those look gorgeous.
They do. They do. All right, so these are just minis, by the way. This is not a game, and this is a thing that happens on Kickstarter. But as always, let's click on the video. Let's check it out.
Within the dungeon's depths, fearsome foes await your intrepid adventurers. Orcs and goblins gather to raid the world above. Soulless undead stalk forgotten tombs, protecting treasures hidden eons ago. Evil cultists pray to forbidden gods, summoning chaotic and vile abominations. All of these monsters and more can prowl your tabletop with the new Dragon's Hoard Miniatures Volume 1 from Next Level Miniatures. Cast in durable but flexible resin, these models will look great painted or unpainted. Best of all, they're suitable for use with a wide variety of fantasy role-playing and tabletop games. Pledge today and claim your share of the Dragon's Hoard.
Okay. You know, and I have to look at it through somewhat interesting glasses, because normally I call out games for having what I call minis porn, which is where they focus way too much on the minis and not enough on the gameplay. But since this is just minis...
But I was saying, isn't that the point of this?
Yeah, that's all I want is the minis porn. And I thought it did a good job. Yeah. I mean, if I were a minis collector, I would want the minis. So I'd say, do I want it? I feel like the video did its job.
It did.
Can you do it? How much is it? Not so sure that, even though I think those are pictures of the actual minis, which would mean that they have a mold, potentially, which is good. So first created, zero back. That's always something to be concerned about, but hopefully they can wow us here. Next Level Miniatures is a brand new gaming production company that creates high-quality tabletop miniatures. And so we do have some collaborators here, 3 collaborators, so we should have some good updates, comments, customer service. First created, zero back, makes it look like a little bit of a cash grab, and I always recommend just go back 30, 40 things for $1 a pop, and all of a sudden it looks like you're a member of the community. And if you don't have 30, 40 bucks, then just go back 30, 40 things that are going to fail. Still gives you the credit. We're looking for one of the websites that has some stuff and isn't just the Kickstarter. This is, just come to the Kickstarter. All right, but we do get to see more of the minis. But yeah, this isn't a website that makes me feel any more comfortable. This feels like a website that you specifically made for this Kickstarter, and it shows me that you know how to make a website that takes emails and takes you back to Kickstarter. So, can you do it? Still up in the air. I'm going to need to know a little bit more. I saw that they were collaborating with someone called Frog Games or something like that. I don't know that company, but if they do minis, then that's what we're looking for here. But the Dragon's Hoard Miniatures Volume 1 is our foray into the world of tabletop miniatures. We're extremely excited by what we've got planned, and we're sure you'll be too when you see what we've got in store below. We've partnered with our friends at Frog God Games to bring to life official miniatures for the popular Rapan Uthuk Mega Dungeon Adventure. And I like that. Do you feel...
Say that 3 times fast. That's a heck of a word. Sorry.
Do you feel like they're... So, I don't know this company, and you don't know this company either.
I don't even know what they're talking about right now.
But can you do it? I feel like this makes me feel a little bit more comfortable knowing that they're collaborating with these people who potentially know how to do this. Would you agree with that?
That's easily, you can go to Google and look them up.
Well, yeah,
if you don't know who they are.
Yes,
Like,
and hopefully this is clickable. It's not. It's not. Always make that clickable. Not only that, but we've also brought along a Fantasy Favorites pledge that covers even more popular fantasy heroes and creatures. Better yet, go big with the All-In pledge to get the entire collection of Volume 1 miniatures from both pledges and get the Ragnarok the Red Dragon huge figurine included with your pledge for free. So how much is it? They haven't given us the price yet, but they have spotlighted what we're potentially going to buy, which I do like. I know that it's like if I'm huge on minis and I like their minis, I'm going to want the All-In, but let's continue. For All God Games, our goal is to deliver a premium miniature products to our backers, which dazzles with a high level of detail that is also durable enough to withstand countless gaming sessions. In our opinion, these miniatures really are the best of all worlds. Our miniatures are cast in a high-quality resin that captures an incredible amount of detail for a result that is truly stunning. Blah, 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 blah. So I would like to see some examples of their previous minis. I think that'd be really solid here. Wouldn't you agree? Like if they just showcase some of the things they've made before?
yes.
I mean, if you're a company and you do that, then this should be no issue right here. Like, if you've made 3 games, say, hey, we've made 3 games. The matte gray finish naturally looks great. It shows off details our collaborators at Punga Miniatures packed into each model. Oh, so now they're actually talking... So they're working with a different company, and then they're also working with manufacturers as well. So that actually makes me feel a little bit better as well. Because once again, I can click... Oh, well, I can't click on this. But I could go easily Google that. If you were into painting your miniatures to customize them to your needs, you'll be pleased to know this resin naturally takes acrylic, yada, yada, yada. Okay, so we're getting straight down to the price. I love that. Didn't beat around the bush. $80 all-in pledge. And I say to myself, $80 for a bunch of little toys. But...
Yeah, but you're not a miniatures person.
I'm not, and that's the point. But So here's my thing. I think I need a shot of everything before I decide to do $80. You've shown me some nice minis so far, but I think a shot, maybe right here, hopefully it's down below, showing everything.
What I'm really impressed with is what I'm hoping, and I don't know if they did their coloring like on a computer, but if somebody actually painted those minis and then they took a picture of them, like that's an incredibly talented person.
Yeah, and that's...
that looks really good.
And there's people like that, so hopefully they give them a shout-out down here. All right, so we have the $80 gets you the huge red dragon figure, which, once again, I'd like to know the dimensions of this as well with inches. And so we can get the $40 one, the $40 ones, or you can get the $80 one. So it's saving you some money because you're going to get all this, but the only way to get the big dragon is to get the 80. So I think like that's decently priced, I guess. I personally think it's just...
I mean, they're decent size, though, aren't they? They're not...
Well,
they're miniatures, but, the dragon itself is...
That's why I think they should give inches.
I can't even do this. I don't know.
They mentioned it a little bit in here, but it was way too fast.
You want inches because you're American.
I just want dimensions. Well, yeah. But that's most of the people.
I understand.
As always, I check in the community to make sure when I say that I'm correct, because most of the time... Yeah, 349 US, 22 Canada, 60. So it's just, yes. So convert me to inches. I mean, it just makes sense. So 40, and you are getting a bunch of minis here, because I guess you're getting 5 of each one.
Scroll down.
They give the dimensions below. Oh, nice. Oh, nice. But why not right here? So 5 of these, 5 of those. You're getting a bunch of minis, I guess. Getting big boxes. Intrepid Heroes, what is this? What are these?
I don't know, but they're pretty.
They are pretty. Seems kind of odd scattered in there, but whatevs. Brutes and Beast, I don't know what this is. What? Okay. Some of the villains
I would assume that you would have to know the game.
Oh!
To know what those are.
Oh, but they're right here as well, aren't they?
The player characters, foes, and monsters.
Okay, so yeah, So
those are... If you go stop for a second, go back, scroll down.
Minis, hobbies, use millimeters. Down. Okay, good to know.
Stop. Look. Okay, so those are all the heroes. It says it at the top.
Okay. So these are the heroes.
See...
Brutes and Beasts. Some of the villains and monsters include the base level pledge. See pledge graphics above for which come in which pledge. And then here's the big monster. Here's the big dragon. I'd like to see the dimensions of that. Here's the big... So these are 3D renders. Okay.
Yeah, see, and I wondered.
But that one looks real. Okay, so that is a... Wow.
Those are close-ups of the models up above.
Those look hot. Oh my gosh.
Okay, now those are actual...
I would spotlight those.
That's still a very talented person.
Like, if that was in the main image, like, you could clear... Yeah, those are...
I don't know that I would have...
And they got the name. And so, finally, we got a clickable. They give some love to Andy. Awesome. Good. So, they at least gave some clickables there. I would make it clickable on the other things as well. But holy guacamole, those are amazing minis. Digitally painted for display purposes. Actual figures come unpainted.
Digitally.
Understand.
I'm glad that they did that, though. Like, I'm glad that they distinguished the difference, because
Agreed.
I was going to be very, very impressed if that was not done on a computer.
Wow. Preview of stretch
cool.
goals that await. But better yet, those are stretch goals, so those are going to get me excited, make me want to see Wow. That's hot. And then I would personally put the stretch goals up at the top. I know they just got funded, but as always, I say, once you've been funded, when you first launch a Kickstarter, your whole goal is to get the game funded, but once you get funded, then you need to pivot to making it the most exciting thing you possibly can. Making that $80 just be like 16 boxes where people say, I can't not get this, because that's what happens with these CMON ones, cool mini or not. It's just like you get 6 or 7 boxes of just game, and it's just all stretch goals, just massive amounts of stretch goals. It's insane. Maybe not 6 or 7 boxes, but 3 or 4. No, some of them are 6 or 7. It's ridiculous. So you're unlocking... Oh, wow.
So you unlock more miniatures as they get more money.
And these are micro stretch goals. Every $3,000, you're going to unlock 2 minis. This thing could be going gangbusters through the roof, because you would have to check back a couple times a week to see, like, oh, what's in my box now? Like, because here's the bottom line. I've seen miniatures that are just minis get, hundreds of thousands of dollars, which means this could be just an insane amount of minis. So I would put this at the very top right now, because holy guacamole. And I would have the long shot of just everything in there, just all pictured. So 40, so what is this, 36?
But I like the way they separated it.
I can see that.
I don't want it in one big long shot of here's what you unlock each time we get to whatever dollar amount. I like that they've separated it.
Well, here's my line of thinking, though. And we'll see when we get actually to the side to see. I'm going to wager that most people who back this are not going to spend $40. They're just like $80. Just like, if you're going to buy minis, well, then I would love to see the big picture.
Especially if you want that big, gigantic dragon.
But that's why I think they should have the big picture with everything on there. And then as you unlock Kickstarter ones, like, you just put those ones on there too, to put like a little Kickstarter unlock thing. So you're like, oh my gosh, this is going to keep getting bigger and bigger. Like, that excites me as a Kickstarter backer. But I definitely do see the point, like, if you wanted 40 and 40, but I don't know what people do. But we'll see how. Dushing Dressings add-on. Oh, those are hot. Those are awesome. I want those. Treasure Chat. They do. Like, look how cool. I want to, you know what? And I have games that I would totally put that in. Like, that's going into Vast, the Crystal Caverns. There's games that use doors. These are really nice. Oh my. All miniatures from the campaign will be available individually in the Pledge Manager. Now, I feel like this is the time where I need to go research that company just to make sure, because these minis look really spectacular. Like, they're look
very nice.
Top notch. $30. Oh, look at that. Newsletter promo Mimic.
Cool.
Available for $5 each so you have to sign up for their newsletter if you want to get the Mimic. You sneaky
at $5 each.
Smart, though. More add-ons. The Rappin' Athuk campaign book in both hardcover and PDF add-on. Okay, so now we're just adding some random stuff that's from the companies. And once again, the add-on is where you do it. As long as it's not in the Pledge Managers, I really don't care. All right. And we have the size scale. This is nice. Huge, 120 millimeters. I don't care if it's standard, Lance. I still want some inches. But what? The bendy? Oh my gosh! That should be spotlighted earlier. Would you agree?
Yeah.
With how many times have we as gamers had, like, stiff minis that come broken, come bent, that break throughout the time? Like that.
Well, they break coming out of the box.
They do.
Sometimes they're so thin in spots that they just...
Absolutely. So this is hot. I can just watch this video all night. Alright, about Next Level Miniatures. Next Level Miniatures is an all-new company founded in 2020, led by a group of longtime gamers with... my tea bag. A decade of experience in the gaming industry. Our desire is to provide phenomenal miniatures for gamers and hobby enthusiasts. Our innovative miniatures production process is able to capture incredible details combined with flexibility that will blow people away. We are very excited to finally make our vision a reality and support the Dragon's Hoard version 1. Free Gods... Oh, so now we're talking a little bit more about these companies, which I wanted to see. For decades... Frog God Games has been publishing adventures for the most popular role-playing game in the world. Rappin' Athuk, the Dungeon of Graves, is one of the most popular creations. The huge Rappin' Athuk Mega Dungeon contains all manners of foul beasts, evil denizens, and perils for any intrepid adventurer who dares venture in. Now, that right there, I honestly wish was somewhere interweaved higher. Because that, I feel a lot more comfortable.
I can see that.
And then see that. And then looky here. Punga Miniatures is a company from Russia that produces miniatures in 3D models for assorted war games, board games, and role-playing games. So, I love their mentioning this. I would mention the games.
But here's the thing too with keeping it down where they've got it. Why would you be looking at that if you don't already own the game? Knowing that they're miniatures for the game. Unless you're already thinking about buying the game. Like, why do you need the information that you probably already know if you have the game already?
Here's the thing. I don't know if you should be necessarily aiming it just at those people. I feel like you should be trying to aim... Because how many more people, I think, don't know about that, and they're just minis aficionados, because every 5th project on Kickstarter right now is miniatures. You know, or miniatures games. I just think if you can up your credibility right at the front, I think it just makes it easier. Click on the Punga Games miniature logo. Oh, this one's clickable. Very nice. Very nice. Oh, my. Is this one that just takes... Oh, Ratman Warriors, Pyre Rats... Okay. And I'm seeing things I can buy right now. And yes, this is what I'm talking about. If you just give me a
the other
snippet,
one above it'll do it too.
it will take you to the website, same as the one for God. Yeah, that is really hot. I think they just need to include a snippet earlier. Just, hey, you know, we're totally legit. Because First Created Zero Backed, when you're talking about making innovative, spectacular miniatures, it's like, really? Are you now? Are you going to be the first-time creator that just crushes it on these minis games? And they look like they have the pedigree to potentially do that. Because honestly, I see this. I click on any of these and I say, okay, I'm in. And look at this. That's so cool. So they even have like that's hot. Okay. We're not looking at minis porn here. Mom's going to come downstairs and wonder what we're doing. All right, so shipping. So here's my issue with shipping. I don't have any comprehension or idea about how large this box is going to be, how many boxes it's going to be. And so that just makes it harder to assess shipping.
Well, and it's going to get bigger the more stretch goals they reach.
It will.
I mean, the more stretch goals they reach, the more the shipping looks fantastic.
Exactly. Yeah. Shipping and VAT, if necessary, will be collected in the Pledge Manager after the campaign. So you are going to be having to pay the VAT, but you're not going to be having to pay the VAT like at your post office, which I've heard is what happens. They get jacked. Add-on items purchased later via the Pledge Manager are covered in the above rates. So shipping, $12, $18, $19, $20. This doesn't look terrible. I mean, aside from the VAT, which does kind of suck, but then again, I don't know how large the thing we is getting, and I think that's a misstep. I always think it's a good idea to give people the idea of the size of the package. But I feel like $12 to the U.S., which is where most people are going to get it, I think is reasonable, though. Shipping costs. The price quoted above is our best estimate of what it would cost. Yep, things are crazy. Tracking, some shipments depend on location, delivery, visit on Facebook, Instagram, whatevs. Out. Let's check it out. Access to the Pledge Manager, $21. $40. So we had 9 people who wanted one of the $40 levels. 3 people who wanted that one. And then, yep, the big one, $394. So, yeah, most of the people are like, I don't want 40 of these. I want all
of them.
in the Dragon. So, okay. So let's check out the FAQ, the updates, the comments to give this bad boy a grade. Will there be a retailer level pledge? At this time, get bent. Will there be a pledge manager? Yes, obviously. You could, come on. How do I pledge for an add-on? Does $1 pledge get me access to the pledge manager? These are all questions people should know. Can we get the STL minis? We are not offering those. Get the hell out. You're not going to print them yourself. Do the figures come assembled? That is a good question. Nearly all of the minis will be a single piece of resin. Some larger minis, like the Dragon, will come in pieces and will need to be put together using hobby or super glue. So that's something I would honestly spotlight. So just say nearly all the minis will be a single piece of resin. So you say 90% of these are pre-assembled or something. Like, I feel like you should have mentioned that a little bit earlier. Because it's a selling point, I think, that the overwhelming majority of these gorgeous minis are something that you want to glue. But then again, I also see the counterpoint, which is if you mention it, people might be like, oh, wait, some of them I do have to glue?
I don't know. Like, if you're already excited about them,
or
are
if you're
you
a minis collector,
really
too.
gonna care?
Yeah, and if you're a minis collector, you're probably used to gluing. So I guess that really doesn't matter. I would still mention it somewhere, at least.
I didn't know they had to glue, but I know nothing about minis, so there's that.
Yeah. All right, so this is not a good update, I can tell you right now, because we have 437 people here who love minis, and we only have 2 comments, which means you're not tickling those Kickstarter algorithms and engaging people. Thank you, everyone. Respect. Dragon's Hoard Miniatures Volume 1. We funded in only 8 hours, and we're incredibly humbled by your support. Now that we're over the hump, our journey has just begun. We're incredibly excited to begin unveiling the stretch goals as they are met. Wait. Oh, yeah. We've got a lot of really amazing miniatures still left to show, so if you're thinking of getting add-ons and Pledge Manager, upping your pledge to cover that now will help us hit those stretch goals faster. The more stretch goals we meet, the bigger the Dragon Hoards grows. And I think that's a smart idea, saying, hey, go get those add-on items because it'll help us hit stretch goals and make your thing better. Don't wait. That's really smart. And that should be industry standard right there. Like just saying, putting that carrot in front of them. If you're already going to back it, just back it to the front end. Finally, if you have any friends or family who might be interested in our campaign, we'd love if you could spread the word. Thanks again. But once again, how do you respond to this, dear?
I don't know, I thought it was a nice update.
I know, but how would you respond?
Okay, meh.
But you wouldn't. That's what I'm saying, right? Yeah. Maybe you give it a heart, then you're out on your way. It's always...
That doesn't mean, though, that they won't follow up with something later.
But this is
Was this just funded today?
This is day one. This is where you need... And they're 11th. If you're 11th on day one, you're going to have a hard time getting higher than that unless you really bump in some excitement into that. So,
Well, they've never been on Kickstarter before, so there's that.
That's a fair point.
They haven't figured that out yet.
Well, I still think you should always end with a question, and I think the obvious question here is, what mini would you like to see? What fantasy trope would you love to see us delve into? What area of the miniatures game market is underserved right now? There's so many questions you could get because everybody
they
here.
They could even just ask a random question like you do.
Yeah, I mean anything to tickle that. I mean, you probably want to keep it on point, but it's just. And so we have congratulations. We have one person who's just excited, and then it's you responding to it, which is good. But I would totally step up that updates, end them with questions. I'm going to make that the industry standard. Damn it, I'm going to do it. I got enough people who are starting to see it. All right, comments. Sits atop his throne of skulls. Miserable lackey approaches. The first stretch goal has been achieved, sir. Good. Oh, that's awesome. So it's hit right now. And once again, hopefully they move those up higher. Awesome.
Less than a minute ago.
And what I like here in particular is they're being playful. They're being exciting. Like I would maybe respond to this.
I would assume that if it has something to do with the game.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Thanks, Funded. Thanks for woohoo! Congratulations, closing in on the first stretch goal. Rub's hand excitedly. So you do have some people who are excited about the project. So this doesn't look like there's going to be a flaming dumpster fire. Amazing.
They're responding. They're on top of it.
Yes, this is looking like some great customer service. Of a Just Heroes pledge, a la carte. A technical question. I see the fix. Well, somewhat flexible to avoid breakage, which is great. I have bought Bones minis in the past and find that even after washing the minis, some of them have the paint adhesion, but they're on it. They're responding, and they're responding in depth. Awesome. Great. So, final grades on this one. Do I want it? I mean, if you're a fantasy minis thing, these look amazing, I'd say yeah. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah.
All right. Can you do it? You jerked us around a little bit. I was a little bit nervous, a little bit skeptical, but by the end of it, I feel comfortable.
I think for their first Kickstarter, I think they did a great job, but that's just from my perspective.
Well, for me, it's mostly that they have the manufacturer lined up. They're spotlighting the manufacturer. They're like, hey, and you can go to that manufacturer and you can buy their products right now. We could look at reviews of their products. And so that goes a long way for me. They have their ducks in a row, and they're telling us they have their ducks in a row, which I think is important when you're a first-time creator. So
I like that you can watch the dollars go up.
It's fun, especially
Live.
on big projects when it goes up by like 20,000 by the time I do the end of the video. So how much is it? The price? Once again, we're out of our element. $80 to pay for a box of minis seems ridiculous. They're actually making the minis in-house in the U.S. What? That should be spotlighted. Thank you for letting me know that. That's an amazing thing right there. That totally needs to be spotlighted because that's something that people can feel good about buying the product even more. And maybe if $80, maybe they come to that like, it's a bit high, but then they say, well, it's manufactured in the United States of America, rah, go America. Like, I think that is a selling point. I would honestly put that at the front door, perhaps, made in USA.
Yes, you have a very good point, but like from an outsider's perspective, like when it comes to minis, because it's not my thing. Mm-hmm. $80 to me it looks like a really great price to me considering like the quality, the fact that they're using like a high quality resin and then like the bendy thing.
That was so hot.
And the fact that that's not spotlighted more.
I agree.
But yes, the Made in USA thing does need to be spotlighted more. Like, that needs to be, like, on there.
Because that's not something you see too often on Kickstarter or just in general. So how much is it? I didn't think it was terrible. You didn't think it was terrible either. So what's the final grade on this one? Because I didn't like the organization necessarily, but at the end of the day, I feel pretty comfortable with this Kickstarter.
Yeah.
I'm thinking B+. I think that my grade, I'm going to go, maybe I go A-.
I was going with an A.
I'm going to go A-. You're really nice.
I'm also out of my element here.
You know what? I'm going to go B+. I'm going to go B+. But no, I'm going to go A-. I don't see anything. I don't see any major red flags except for that first-time creators, but if they got the companies, they got the pedigrees.
Yeah, I mean, they're first-time like, they're on Kickstarter for the first time.
Yeah.
Like, there's a learning curve for sure.
I'd say they're doing a pretty good job, and if they can catch this lightning in a bottle, maybe make a couple tweaks, get the right set of eyeballs on this, advertise in the right places, this thing could really catch some, especially when you're unlocking Kickstarters like mad. Like, they just, like, when I created this event, like 4 or 5 hours ago, they were at 28,000, and now, we already have 2 more minis. So we're going from an 80 minis box to an 82 minis box? Oh, man. That's exciting. No, I mean, like, that's exciting. I'd want to check it back. But there you go. There's the Next 11 Miniatures Dragon Hoard Miniatures Volume 1, which, once again, the black image here. But as always, if you're enjoying what we're doing, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below, because we go on wild, wild adventures every time we do a Kickstarter critique. You never know what you're going to find. So come on with us. And I should stop talking, shouldn't I?
Yeah.
Goodbye.
Bye.